my name is Richie and welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing another expectations video for the upcoming Long Island Railroad Commuter. So yes, you join me for one of these expectation videos again. Today's episode, let's say, is going to be on the upcoming Long Island Railroad Commuter, or Long Island Railroad 2.0, which is what I'm going to nickname it because it's essentially an overhaul of a route we've had for about 5 years now. And it looks really good, and I'm actually really excited for it, and I know a lot of people in the community are as well. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the upcoming Long Island Railroad Commuter. So this expectations video is going to be a little bit different to the ones I've previously done because, like I say, this is a route we've already got in trainsimworld that's just being overhauled and extended and whatever else. So, you know, it's going to be more talking about things that we can expect to see updated, what's new, all that sort of stuff. And there's still plenty to talk about, so yeah, let's get straight into it. So of course, let's start off, as we always do, with talking about a bit of initial information. What do we already know? So here is the route map that Dovetail provided in their announcement article. As you can see, it's incredible. Right, I know that a lot of it we already had. We're getting this new branch down here, which I'll go into a bit more detail. But, you know, it's an incredible map, and it's just like, just look at the amount of branches, it's insane. So when the original Long Island Railroad actually came out, it was still such an incredible route because of the sheer amount of branches on it. So the fact that it's been updated to have another branch on it, I think technically two, because we've got like the branch down to Long Beach, and then I think this is part of the West Hempstead branch. So, you know, it's pretty insane. It's going to be fantastic. And I must say, if you're not already aware, the current Long Island Railroad route covers pretty much, if you can see my mouse, all this branch here, from New York Penn and Atlantic Terminal, and then down to Hicksville, the branch down to Hempstead, Belmont Park, and I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. And then what we're getting new is all this down here. Anything south of Jamaica, that's what we're getting new, which is a fair size of new stuff that we're getting. So what do we already know? We're essentially getting a route extension, you know, similar to that of Southeastern High Speed. Obviously, this isn't just going to be part of a core update. We're getting the Kawasaki M9, which is a new train to the game, very similar to the M7 that we've already got. That's going to be also part of the base game. The route length is a total of 57 miles, 15 of which is new. Like I said, that branch down to Long Beach, that's 15 miles of new track. And in total, we've got 37 stations. 11 of them are new ones, but 37 stations on a single route. You know, if you don't own Long Island Railroad, and this is, you know, your first time getting it, the amount of stuff that you're getting for it, it's a good price. It's a really good price. You know, we've got some information on layers, which I'll go into. And there was some licensing issues prior to their announcement, and that was actually down to safety systems, because I think there's security concerns with MTA. I think I read somewhere that there were security concerns over the fact that someone tried stealing a train once. So MTA were insisting that Dovetail have safety systems enabled at all times, which has caused a little bit of controversy amongst the community. I kind of think it's a good thing because it kind of forces us to learn the safety systems a bit. I understand that a lot of people want to just relax with the game and just, you know, go about your business and not have to worry about safety systems and stuff, but I think American safety systems aren't too difficult. I think it's very similar to AWS, where you simply just press a button. So I don't imagine it'd be massively intrusive to your experience. And other information, the release date is next Tuesday, the 30th of April, and the price is £29.99. You get 10% off on Steam, and you get an additional 10% off if you already own it on Steam and Xbox. PlayStation users have been left in the dirt a little bit. We don't get any form of loyalty discount or anything like that, which is a shame because, I mean, I've had Long Island Railroad pretty much, you know, since its early days. So it's a shame that the PlayStation doesn't get any loyalty discount, but for what we're getting, it's a good price. And I mean, if you don't own the route already, you're getting a hell of a lot for your money. So it seems like PlayStation have been left in the dirt a little bit, you know, because we've had to wait 3 or 4 weeks for Formation Designer, and now we don't get any form of discount for a route we already own. I am aware, though, that Dovetail did try and get some loyalty discounts for PlayStation, but I think Sony are awkward. So I don't think it's Dovetail's fault. I think it's more Sony, which I know they're quite awkward. But it is what it is. I'm still going to get it because I'm excited for it, and I think it's a good offering. So a bit of a different segment. What's getting updated? You know, obviously, it's not a new route by any means, and it's essentially going to be just adding on to what we've already got. So let's talk a little bit about what's getting updated as part of this release. So we're getting M3 and M7 improvements. Obviously, there's a few sound issues and physics issues that are going to be improved and fixed and whatever else. We're getting a completely reworked timetable. We're getting a reworked Sunnyside yard. I'm assuming that would mean that we get additional AI in the yard, so maybe some Amtrak services. Getting some new scenarios. I'm not too fussed about that, but you know, people like scenarios, so we're getting some new ones of them. We're getting updated station areas, lighting and textures, as you would in a newer route. Improved scenery textures and water materials. I'm hoping that the scenery textures are, you can see New York, the New York skyline in the distance, like you know, they did it recently in the suffragette line, so it'd be good to see the skyline at least. And we're getting the full TSW4 features, including the Todd 4 lighting and the dynamic weather. So let's talk a little bit about the included locos. Normally I would talk about one, because we normally get one new loco. I'm just going to go into a little bit of information about both of them, but mainly going to talk about the M9. So here we've got a picture of the M7 at, I believe, East New York, which is looking nice. You can already tell that, I know it's night lighting, but it's the the building next to the station there looks quite nice. And before on this station looked a bit, you know, dark and dreary. So, you know, something good to look forward to there. And here's the star of the show, the M9, which looks really nice, to be fair. It's very well modelled, as most trains are in the game. So yeah, the M7, it's the one that was in the original Long Island Railroad, and it's an EMU built by Bombardier. And they entered service in 2002, which means that the M7s are almost as old as me. And then the M9, it's the new loco coming with the pack, and it's built by Kawasaki, interestingly. So I wonder if it sounds a little bit like a motorbike. The M9s entered service in 2019 and replaced the M3s, which are also part of this route. So, you know, safe to say that they're very modern. So onto the timetable. I think this is going to be the most interesting segment of the video, because considering that we had 180 something services in the original Long Island Railroad, and it's getting a complete overhaul, and they've pretty much confirmed what we're getting. So there's some good numbers here for a timetable. Before we get into the number crunching, here's a quick snippet of the actual Long Island Railroad service map from the MTA website. So I wanted to include this before going through the numbers, because I wanted to kind of see what branches and what service types we'd be getting as part of this route. So if I try and trace out the route map with my mouse here, if you can see it, so we'd be going down here, and we're going as far as Hicksville before it splits off down there. We'd be getting the Hempstead branch, the Belmont Park branch, and then I think this is called the Atlantic branch. And then obviously we've got all this new down here. So the service types, you know, you'd be seeing easily a couple of trains going towards each branch, which gives you an idea of how busy this route is going to get. So here is a list of the included branches on the route and how far they go. So obviously we've got the Ronkonkoma branch as far as Hicksville. We've got the full Hempstead branch, Atlantic branch, and Long Beach branch. We've also got the Far Rockaway and the West Hempstead branch as far as Valley Stream. We've got the Babylon branch as far as Limbrook, and the Port Washington branch as far as Woodside. So this kind of gives you an idea of what sort of service patterns we could see. You know, we'll see New York Penn to Hicksville, and New York Penn to Hempstead, and New York Penn to Long Beach, and then we'd have Atlantic Terminal to Hicksville, and where, you know, there'll be all sorts of different service patterns. So it kind of gives you an idea of how many services we're going to get. So like I said, many service times, and I think I read somewhere that there's going to be upwards of 36 trains per hour at peak times at Jamaica, which is in the centre of the route. 36 trains per hour in peak times, that's insane. What's that, like a train every 90 seconds or something stupid like that? That's absolutely nuts. So according to the announcement article, the M9 has 306 playable services, the M7 has 287 playable services, and the M3 has 32. And we'll hopefully get Amtrak and New Jersey Transit services as AI at New York Penn as well. So if my maths is correct, with all that minus AI, we should see a total playable service count of over 600. I think it's like 625 or something stupid like that, which is absolutely nuts. I think that would make it the second biggest timetable after London Commuter. That's absolutely insane. So onto the layers, which there's not really much to talk about here. I've kind of covered it, but I'm going to go into a little bit of detail of what sort of layers we can see. Yeah, it's not as impressive as the last couple of slides, but we've got the M3 add-on playable and as AI we'd see the ACS 64 and Accelas, and we'd also see the New Jersey Transit ALP 46s. I think in the roadmap stream, Matt said there was something like over 1,000 services, including AI, which would mean that if there's 600 playable, there must be up to 500 AI services. And here's a little bit of information on the M3, which is a separate add-on. It's the predecessor to the M9, and it was built by Bud Transportation. In this pack, the M3 provides 32 additional services in the new timetable. It adds 3 scenarios, and it's priced at £11.49, which was standard Loco price back in the day. It's now about 15 quid, so it's not a bad price at all. I will advise you that the M3 goes on sale quite often. I picked it up for about £4.99, something like that. So if you're wanting to get this, I would wait for a sale. Because it's not a bad unit, but it's it's about 5 years old. It's not worth full route price, I don't think. So despite the fact that we've already got an add-on for this, I do have an idea for a potential DLC, because we have to talk about a potential DLC, don't we? And I think we're going to see something that's not electric. Oh yeah, this wonderful thing. So this is, and I need to make sure I get this right because it's got a funky name. This is the EMD DE30AC, I think. This is a diesel locomotive, and obviously with coaches, which would run on the Port Jefferson branch and the Oyster branch, and I think a little bit further afield. Although we're not getting them 2 branch lines with this route, it would add a little bit of variety to the main line, and I think it'd be nice to see a little bit of diesel running in amongst loads of EMUs. I personally think we will see this because, they've gone to the effort to overhaul the route. And, why not utilise it by making another Loco DLC, a newer one? So it'd be cool to see as well because it's like completely different to what's already part of the route. So yeah, that's the potential DLC I reckon we could see with this pack. So on to a little bit of information about the route features. Obviously a lot of the route features we already know about because we've already got them, so I'm going to focus mainly on the Long Beach branch. So the first thing to notice is that we're getting new PIS, which is how it should look as opposed to the British style that we've got now, so that'll be good to see. And here we got a picture of the M9 at the new Long Beach station, which is another key route feature for this release. And here's an image of the M9 crossing the Long Beach Bridge, which is a cool looking bridge. It's definitely not got anything on the 4th bridge though, has it? So yeah, here's a list of the route features. We've got a new branch line with 10 stations and an additional 15 miles of route. We've got new PIS screens. We've got a network type route. We've got the Long Beach Bridge. We've got some new water textures, which I didn't actually see. Oh yeah, it looks quite nice actually. Look at that. I didn't even spot that beforehand. I was too busy looking at the bridge. We've got a busy commuter route, and we can expect to see a super busy New York Penn and Jamaica station. And here we are, my final thoughts. Before we go into them, what do you think about this route? Are you getting it? How do you feel about the whole loyalty discount thing? I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about it. And what's your opinions on the safety systems? Let me know in the comments. So on to my final thoughts. I must admit, I'm really looking forward to this release. I'm really excited to see such a large timetable in the game. I thought they did really well with the London Commuter timetable. That's just a fantastic route, just simply because it's so busy. So it's going to be great to see an American version of that. Obviously, it's a little bit disappointing that we're not getting any loyalty discounts on PlayStation, but if you don't already own this route, you're getting a hell of a lot for your money. So, there's not really many complaints there. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I know that a few people in the community are looking forward to it too. And hopefully in the future we see some more extensions. There is a few routes that I would definitely like to put forward for an upgrade, and this is one of them, to be fair, because I love the Long Island Railroad, and I'm looking forward to seeing it get a complete overhaul and actually be one of the busiest railroads in America. So yeah, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the upcoming Long Island Railroad Commuter when it comes out next week. I'm certainly going to be getting it and doing a first look video on it, and I'll also be doing a before and after video like I did for the West Somerset Railway, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. I'd massively appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.